What's poppin', fellow nerds? Today we have another gameplay video for you. This is round 1 from last Friday night locals. This is my black blocker deck, and I got paired for the first time with Rookie Rush, which is pretty ideal situation for me. So I've actually been playing red for like the past 5 weeks, and red has a terrible Rookie Rush matchup. But the first time I get paired with Rookie Rush, I'm playing arguably the worst matchup possible for Rookie Rush, which is black. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but if you have not already entered our giveaway, check the link in the description. Giving away one of these. Check it out. Alright, let's get back to the video. So I do start out pretty ideal here. Toy Agumon and Greymon stack going. That means anything I put on top of that Greymon is going to have Reboot and Jamming. Pretty good hand. So this is actually the first time I've ever played against Rookie Rush. So this was a new experience for me. I do understand why people find it very frustrating as far as a strategy is concerned. I personally found it amusing, but that was probably just because I was playing a deck that they kind of just auto lose to. And I was just big chilling the whole match. I Digivolve into my Metal Mamamon, and I get to swing into a security for 7k with jamming. Yeah, check a Digimon, so it's irrelevant what it is, and then I Digivolve into my big boy, War Greymon, and now I get to reboot and have just a huge blocker on the field for his turn. He's activating Boring Storm to draw a card. Then he chokes me at 1, which is fine. I do flip my 1 of egg here. So he's starting to build up a little bit of a board presence here, and I only have 1 blocker on the field. So I swing in with my Word Greymon. Unfortunately, I do run into a Davis, which lets him look at the top 3 cards of his deck and add 1 blue and 1 green Digimon to his hand. Grabs the XVMon, he doesn't have a green target. And then because I can't put up enough blockers, I decide to just go ahead and drop an Alter S and clear his board. And he doesn't have anything in play, and Rush isn't a thing yet, so I know that my security's safe for another turn. And my Alter S has Reboot from the Toy Agumon, which is pretty cool. So I'm trying something new here. I'm putting the cards up on the screen as they're played, just to make it easier for you guys to follow the game. Let me know what your thoughts are on that, if you like that or not, in the comments. Pretty good hand. Need double Hammer Sparks to gain 2 memory. So I'm actually sitting about 15 feet away from where I was last week, and there's still a glare on the cards. So I'm gonna have to figure out, like, maybe if it's my angle, maybe just drop my camera down a little bit to where there's no glare. But hopefully having the cards on the screen will just negate the glare altogether. So I swing with Omnimon Alter S, activate his effect to return War Greymon to my hand to make him unblockable for the turn. I do run into Flower Cannon and Security, but my only other Digimon on the field does have blockers, so it doesn't affect him. And I remember here that I was supposed to gain a memory with Kakenmon's effect for swinging with a level 7. It is mandatory, so even though I forgot, I still have to, like, go back and gain it if I can. If it had been optional, I just would have lost the opportunity to activate the effect. So he's starting to build up some board presence, but I do have 2 blockers on the field. And so here he starts swinging with his dudes. So he has 2 Vmons on the field, which both have jamming. So I'm planning on blocking those guys because the other rookies, or the other Digimon, will most likely die when they check my security. He swings for 5k, hits a Gatsumon, so it lives. And he swings with jamming with a Vmon, and I'm going to just say nah bruh. And he swings with Vegemon for 6k and checks a Crescarurumon, so super dead. And he activates Positron Laser, which so up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. And then if you have a blue Digimon in play, you can return you have to return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to their hand. So my turn starts, I gain a memory from Joe. Pretty cool. And I go ahead and just put markers on those Digimon just so I don't forget that they can't attack. Makes it easier on me. Then I'm just going to get rid of that Shadow Palmon. I know it's different, but it literally looks like a Palmon to me. And then just put a big blocker on the field of the reboot. And now I have 2 blockers on the field again, and he only has 1 guy. And right here is an example of why you should pay attention. So I think I was looking at my hand at this point. He should have paid 1 memory to Digivolve into that Gorillamon. I don't think he was trying to cheat me. I think he just forgot. But that is why it is important to pay attention to your opponent at all times. Because even if your opponent is unintentionally cheating you, they can cheat you. And obviously people can intentionally cheat as well. But it should have been my turn when he played the Vmon. And I do set up for a game shot here, but unfortunately I hit the Positron Laser with Alter S. So returns Alter S to my hand because he's the only suspended Digimon on my field, so it has to be him. And then he gets to pick 2 of my Digimon that can attack for the rest of the turn. And so it just picks those 2 guys. And so now I can't game him. Bummer. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just Alter S your board since you put it back in my hand. And so I just nuke his board again with the same Alter S. So ultimately that me not paying attention to that memory that he should have spent didn't really impact anything, but definitely something you should watch out for. And here, so I did this occasionally whenever I first started playing. You forget that you played a Digimon on your turn and you try to swing with him, and obviously you can't. I just reminded him that he played it that turn and he was like, oh yeah, my bad, I'm sorry. And he swings with his Gorillamon and checks a Ludamon and survives. And here he can't even play anything to put the memory gauge to my side, so I go to 3 automatically when he passes turn and then gain a memory from Joe to go to 4. And now here I should be able to game shot. So I swing with Omnimon, activate his effect to return War Greymon to my hand and make him unblockable for the turn, and then activate Raiju Ludamon's effect to Digivolve his Gorillamon by 1. And I did hit Flower Cannon, so it suspends my Ludamon, but not my Digimon with blocker, so I can swing with the game with Karisarimon. So I do take game 1. And he decides to go first for game 2, which I'm super okay with. As you guys know, I love getting that extra draw and the extra memory. So he chokes me at 1 by Digivolving into a Gorillamon, which is fine with me. Then I Digivolve my rookie and play my Memory Setter tie. Ideal turn 1 for me. And he plays his Davis and searches Betamon. And it makes it my turn. It puts me to 1 and then tie sets me to 3. I'm not 100% sure why he didn't just swing with his Grillamon first, but I'm okay with it. I play my Ludamon, and his effect is reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 Legend Arm cards and 1 Ragnarlordmon to your hand, and then put the other 5 cards underneath your deck in any order. So I check my hand, and I decide I need a level 5, so I add the Ludamon to my hand. He's just setting up some board presence here on his turn. Fine with me. I go to 3 from tie. And I'm just setting up some more blockers. He can't wipe my board, so like just me setting blockers is never a bad thing. He has no way of getting rid of them. Now he's trying to swing with his dudes. And I have no reason not to just block that. He does get to draw from the Upamon underneath the Gapamon though. He swings with Vegemon for 6k, checks a Metal Mamamon and dies. Swings with Grillamon for 6k, checks a Machine Dramon and dies. He does get to draw off the Upa, of course. And he Puppetmons me here to set me to 10 and suspend one of my Digimon, and then my Digimon cannot unsuspend during my unsuspend phase. Which this is funny because like most of my Digimon have reboot. So like this isn't a huge deal because I just get to reboot a lot of my blockers on his unsuspend phase. So it doesn't have a lot of impact on me. It just slows me down for a turn where I can't swing into him. But if I wasn't playing a bunch of Digimon with reboot and a bunch of blockers, I can definitely see how this matchup would be frustrating for a lot of decks to play against. And I swing into a security for 7k with jamming. Check a Vegemon. Then I play my second tie, just to give my dudes another 1k on his turn. And I have 2 blockers. He swings with his Puppetmon into my security and gains 1 memory from Puppetmon's effect. Then he checks Wargreymon and dies. Worked out well for us. He swings for 6k into my security, and my Kurisaramons are 7k from my ties, so no reason for me not to block it. I think he forgot about my ties effect to give my Digimon a 1k per tie. on when he swung, but then he puppet mons me again, puts me to 10. That's fine. Just keeps him from dying for another turn, but I'm unbothered by it. And I just want to get that Puppet Mon off the field, so I Millennium on him. Put that Puppet Mon on the bottom of his deck. And just to make it his turn, I'll just play another blocker for my hand. Gatsumon. And Millenniumon has Reboot. So I have 2 blockers on the field, and he only has 1 Digimon he can swing with on his turn. And he plays another Palmon twin. He Positron lasers me. So he does have a blue Digimon in play, so he's going to get to select 2 of my Digimon that can't attack for the rest for my turn or block. And it gets to return 1 of my suspended Digimon to my hand. Makes it my turn. I gain a memory from Joe. So I can't game him again. That's fine. Because I am just big chillin'. I never at any point during either one of these games felt threatened at all. I just double Joe. And I just play another blocker to make it his turn. Now I have 5 blockers on the field. And he does actually get 1 green, 1 blue Digimon off the second Davis, so he gets to add both of them to his hand. And then he dropped a Digimon, so I go to 3 from Ty, and then gain 3 memory from the Joes to go to 6. Like, there's no way he's going to win. But he's just keeping me from killing him every turn. So I swing with Millenniumon, I gain a memory, de-digivolve 1 of his Digimon, and I have jamming. Not that I would run anything big on his security, but I do have jamming. And at this point, I'm like, well, I have enough memory where I can swing with my blockers to game him if I don't hit something funky in his security. Unfortunately, I do hit a Hammer Spark, so I do lose an additional 2 memory, so now I can't do that. But I don't need all these blockers, so I just swing in with my other Gatsumon. Then I die to the Vegemon check. And then I just play a Ludamon. And I add a Raiju Ludamon. And now I have 3 blockers on the field. All 7k Kurisarimon. Oh, he just starts swinging in. And I'm like, alright, cool. I'll just kill him. He Flower Cannons one of my other Kurisarimon. And he Puppet Mons me again to tap my Millenniumon. And then my Digimon can't unsuspend during the unsuspend phase. And he puts me to 10. unbothered. And I swing into a security with Ludamon. I check a Flower Cannon, which would suspend all my Digimon without blocker, but I do have a blocker on the field to swing for game. So I do take it 2-0 pretty easily. All he could really do was stall, but he was never winning either one of those games. I think Rookie Rush just auto loses to this matchup. But I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content. Until next time, see ya.